It's hard. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, if you want to support this channel, please go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and when the video is over, make sure you comment. I'm trying to make this a very interactive video, so the more comments that flood the comment section down below will really help this video do well and really serve the whole purpose why I created it. So real quick, the NFL season starts literally tomorrow. And one of the things that I love about the NFL season, beyond just watching the games and being a huge fan of football, having played it, and then just loving the sport for what it is also all the festivities that come along with it. And one of the biggest things I like as far as festivities, beyond what the play that's on the field, is fantasy football. And I'm actually really good at fantasy football, y'all. Like, I win leagues, I'm nice at this. So I wanted to go ahead and share my fantasy football. I'm in 3 different leagues. Share my rosters with y'all, see what y'all think about it, and just generate some conversation down in the comments. I do plan on coming in first place in all 3 of them, but let me just show y'all what I'm working with. Let me know what y'all think about it. So, starting with my ESPN Fantasy League, quarterback, we got Deshaun Watson. I know I picked him up in like the 7th round. I'm really not big on drafting quarterbacks very high. I did in one of my leagues, and I'll get to that later. But for the most part, I'm definitely an RB0 approach when it comes to fantasy football. I like my receivers to get them first, get as many of them as I can, then move on to running backs. When it comes to running backs, there's really only like 5 or 6 of them, maybe 7 that are really worth drafting in the top 3 rounds. The rest, you can get a solid running back later, but if you stack up on receivers who tend to be available more often, who are more big play merchants, and then also I think end up being more generating more points than running backs outside like the top 2 or 3. So in the first round, I picked up Tyreek Hill, and this is crazy. This is the league with my cousins. In the first round, I got Tyreek Hill. In the second round, I slid Garrett Wilson. Then in the third round, I got CeeDee Lamb. So I got 3 top receivers, 3 number 1 receivers in rounds 1, 2, and 3. By the 4th round, Najee Harris was available, so I got him. Dallas Goedert, Dameon Pierce, Deshaun Watson was like a 7th round pickup. So my starting lineup is tough. I really like my starting lineup. And then my bench, anytime you're playing fantasy football, obviously your starters are what's going to help you win, or what are the driving force towards you winning. But a strong bench will definitely get you deep into them playoffs. Jackson Smith and Jigba, if you watched my NFC preview video, which if you haven't, go ahead and check that out. It's really good. I have a very strong feeling that he will end up, before the season's over, being the best receiver on the Seahawks. As an Ohio State fan, I've watched him very closely. I know what he's capable of. He's going to get things going in Seattle. Zeke Elliott, low risk, high reward. I do think playing in a Bill Belichick system where they use 2 running backs, he doesn't really like to go with just one guy. I expect, he will be stealing carries from Ramondre Stevenson, but Zeke last year, even in a down season, did score 12 rushing touchdowns. So I look for him. There's a good chance Zeke could lead the league in rushing touchdowns this year. If not number 1, he could be top 3. And then you got Kadarius Toney, who I thought that was a really good pickup because I got him like the 2nd or 3rd last pick of my picks in the draft. Great good as a receiver in a PPR league. I'm sure he'll eat up receptions. And then as a return man, that's extra points right there. So Kadarius, versatile weapon. I'm all about versatility on my teams. And then Deuce Vaughn. Had to get the homie Deuce Vaughn. Low risk, high reward. Chargers defense. Nobody, and I'm going to show you my other leagues, nobody touched the Chargers defense. And I don't know why, because the last 4 games of the season, when our team was for the most part relatively healthy, we were the best defense in all of football. And when we're healthy and everyone's back, we do have, I believe, a top 5 defense in all the league. At worst case scenario, 6. So this is team number 1. I like it. This is a very strong team. I'd say this is my strongest of my teams. Moving on to the sleeper app, whatever, for fantasy. This is my team right here. Remember how I said I don't take quarterbacks in the first round? I tried something different. I decided to get, this is crazy by the way, Q. This has to be for trade value because I don't know why though. So shouts out to Q, but hey man. But this is my team right here. My first pick, had the number 4 overall pick in this one. Had the number 4 overall pick in this one too. 4 just might be my number this year. Pat Mahomes, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mark Andrews, McLaurin I think was a good steal. Not really a steal. Some might call that a reach, but I think that's going to be worth the pick in the 4th round. Darren Waller, really did good with the tight ends. I mean, to have two top 5 tight ends, Andrews and Darren Waller. Obviously, I can't play them both at the same time, but it's no thing if one of my receivers, let's say McLaurin, starts to slip or Pickens starts to slip. Actually, I don't even do that. I can just have the 2 at the receiver and have 1 in the flex at all times, so I'm good right there. DeAndre Swift. This was it's about right where I pick running backs, around the 5th, 6th round. Swift, as you see, the top running backs were gone early. McCaffrey, Eckler, Henry, Chubb, Barkley, Jacobs, Pollard, Harris. Harris might be the cutoff of like the good running backs. Pollard is probably in there. We'll see what he does this year when he has to handle the full load of being the #1 running back. I'm sure Deuce Vaughn will get some carries. But overall, I think this is a real good team. Now, the auto draft started to kick in right around after I picked the Broncos defense. After that, I don't really know. No, yes, shouts out to the Broncos defense. I don't really know. I know some of these guys. I don't know all these guys. Shouts out to them getting Chase Claypool for me. I got Darnell Mooney as well. I think the receivers for the Bears are going to be on to something this year. Darnell Mooney's a very good receiver. Bryce Young, again, I need him for 1 week. I doubt Mahomes is going to suffer any type of injury. So as long as Bryce can be competent for 1 week, I think his bye week is week 10. Yeah, in week 10, as long as Bryce can be good enough that week. Who's he play week 10? Oh, Chicago. Yeah, all right, Bryce. Yeah, just do your thing for 1 week and then Mahomes will come back in. I like this team. This is a 12-man league, so it's not going to be as loaded as my other rosters. But from top to bottom, this is a very good team. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, but this team is straight. And then in my third league, we have at quarterback, Dak. I think I had the 7th or 8th pick in this league. It was a snake draft, so of course you get the low first, and then you get a high second round, and then so on and so forth. This is another team that I don't think I'm losing. And even the draft recap agrees with me. I mean, A+, 13-2 record, projected #1 overall finish. Of course, Kelsey's going to be out this week, so that could prove to be a little bit problematic. But Njoku is good enough. Cincinnati is Cincinnati. But if Njoku can just not be, trash when he plays, my team will take care of itself. We got Dak, Tony Pollard, Etienne, Devontae Adams. Calvin Ridley was a player that I really believe in. I saw him in Atlanta. I know he liked to gamble with his career. He lost like X amount of money for trying a $40 bet on FanDuel. It might not have been $40, but it wasn't what he was going to make in the NFL. But he's back. Garrett Wilson, if you see, I got him on this team and on this team. I tried to give him all 3. I really think he will be Aaron Rodgers' favorite target and will do some damage. Jordan Love was another low-risk, high-reward type of player who I just need him for 1 week, assuming Dak doesn't get hurt. And even if Dak does get hurt, God forbid, I think Jordan Love is going to be good enough where, because my team is so strong on the back end, we could have Jordan Love at quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs, another 2-way back who I think is going to do really good for Detroit in terms of running the ball, catching the ball. He's going to be a motor for that offense, which is already one of the best offenses on football. And then you got Zay Flowers, who will end up being the best receiver on the Ravens. Jerry Jeudy, once he comes back from injury, I expect Russell Wilson to play better this year. And Jerry Jeudy will be the #1 receiver on the Broncos. Then we got the Chargers defense and the Giants defense. 2 elite defenses. So from top to bottom, this speaks for itself. They already know what time I'm on. This, I think, is going to be an excellent team. And then this is just the best team. This is like the Avengers of the teams. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you like the rosters, if you think there's some things that you would change about them. But overall, I expect to finish in first place in every single one of my leagues. But just a quick video. I want to talk about fantasy football with y'all. Can't wait for the season to start. And I'll update y'all at the end of the year when I finish the champion in all 3 of these leagues. But until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.